Next question comes from Elise. Can you please explain the logistics of how a 401k can be both a traditional and a Roth? IRAs can only be one or the other. So how does the 401k work? Is it true that all your contributions go in one place and are just broken out on paper? Or can you invest in some things with your pre-tax money and other things with Roth money? And what happens when you leave the company and roll over the money to an IRA?
Well, Elise is absolutely right, and that when it comes to the 401k, it's not an all or nothing decision. You can make both traditional and Roth contributions. Furthermore, even if you just choose to make Roth contributions, but you get a match, the match is going to be traditional. And when you take that money out in retirement, you're going to be taxed on it. So how does a 401k account for these two buckets of money? Well, the answer is it depends on your plan. So you should contact the administrator of your plan directly. However, for most, if not all plans, it's handled proportionately. And to use Elise's words, it's really broken out on paper. So you don't have two separate accounts or two separate, like a Roth account and a traditional. It's really just an accounting thing that's just coded in the account. So let's consider an example. Let's say you contribute $1,000 a month to your 401k, and you decide that 50% should be traditional, 50% should be Roth, and furthermore, you're choosing to put half of it in a stock fund and half in a bond fund. You usually cannot say, I want my Roth money to go into the stock fund and the traditional to go into the bond. It's going to be split proportionately. Furthermore, when you pull up your account online, chances are it's not going to break it out right there. It's just going to show you your overall balance, and you're going to have to dig a little bit to find out exactly what is Roth and what is traditional. Now, so just as an example, for the full 401k, to figure out how your account breaks down between Roth and traditional, you have to click on View Account, then Account Activity, then Search Options, and then Source, as in what's the source of the funds. So you do have to do some digging. But it really is just on paper. They don't have two separate accounts. Now, when you leave the company and you roll it over, then you can separate it. You can roll the Roth portion into a Roth IRA and the traditional portion into a traditional IRA. And that's, in fact, that's the way you have to do it. And that's one of the benefits of it, because then you can let the Roth keep growing for as long as you want, because there are no RMDs, required minimum distributions, on a Roth.